zoom out a bit, see if it goes a little bit better. You can see I'm using quite a bit of flour. These are dough bins, but you can use whatever you want. If you use like I said, using quite a bit of flour, more than you're probably used to. So hopefully you can, it's a little bit bigger. So I'm starting on the top, and I'm establishing the crown. Pressing like this, not like this, not flat, just sort of like the top 2 digits of my fingers. And I'm going around and establishing the crown. The crown, you don't want it, well, it depends on how big of a crown you like, but most people don't want a ton of crown. So what I'm doing is I'm slowly going around the edge, establishing that crown. Again, this is the top. And I'm just rotating it so that it's easier instead of having to, go like this. And I'll show you the rotation in a second. Again, don't worry about the center, it'll take care of itself. Just think about sort of the outer like third or quarter that you're stretching. Then flip it over, so this is the bottom. And again, I'm trying to establish an even disc roughly, except for the center. I'm only going lightly through the center. Okay, now I'm ready for the next step after scooping and establishing the crown. I put my hand at 12 o'clock, just inside the crown there, with the other hand underneath. And then I'm going to try to draw a straight line like that. And when I'm pulling, I'm just pulling enough. I'm pulling underneath, I'm not pinching, I'm pulling sort of like under here. It's almost like I'm doing that, okay? And then I'm going to take this and put it right here. So it's sort of going to go like this. Okay, it's going to go. So see that it was here, now it's there. And I'm going to take this thumb and I'm just going to throw it to that hand. So now it's done a quarter turn. And I'm going to do it again. Stretch a line, up on my arm, down, up on my arm. Again, I'm thinking about stretching this part, not about the center. The center will take care of itself. Until I get to a rough disc, I constantly am pressing to make sure I don't get like a gum line, an extra buildup of dough there. Now I'm going to go up on my knuckles. Again, this is the bottom. So I'm going to go up on my knuckles. And then I'm going to lift, drop, and then bring my hand together. So you can kind of see from the back. It's almost like I'm just sort of lifting and dragging it along that right hand. And I'm keeping it on the deck in case it's really loose like it is. It's overpressed, or overproof, excuse me, so that it doesn't stretch too thin in the center. That way you get a fairly even from the center all the way to the crust, and then there's a slight rise. When you have your peel ready, if you're using peels, or if you're building on a peel, again, I went from bottom facing me where I was stretching, up on my knuckles, did a knuckling, and then I'm going to fan it out. So now it's facing me again. You want to start on the top, and then you want to sort of go around circle. You don't want to press in the center right away. And this is the top, that's the bottom. Going around, creating a little bit of crown, not too much. Again, leaving this, and then slightly plat that out. So it's a little bit thick here. When you flip it over, do the same thing, lightly through the center. You've sort of established your crown, okay? and press it out. So I'm using this part of my finger, like this, not like this, and not like that. Okay, and then you want to put your hand here, 12 o'clock. Put your hand underneath, right around 10 o'clock. You want to pull straight so that you create sort of like a line. Then you want to take that, put it right here. And then you take your thumb and you shoot it to this hand. And now it's done quarter turn. Stretch, up, down. And I'm thinking about stretching this part, not the center. The center will take care of itself. Feeling for thick pieces, thick bits, right? And this is the bottom, by the way. So now I'm going to put it up on my knuckles. And I'm just sort of like lift, drop, bring my hands together. Lift, drop, bring my hands together. Lift, drop, hands together. Hands together. And then down. So now I'm back on the facing, top is facing me. If you have your peel ready, you would just go right from your knuckles to the peel. And you're just feeling, so you're thinking about stretching this bit right here. The center will take care of itself.